Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the first season of The Terror. And this is an anthology series that takes historical moments, throws in some supernatural elements, some horror elements, and really shakes it up to take you on a very unnerving and uncomfortable ride. And I got through the first season, which focuses on the Terror and these two ships out in the Antarctic, and they get caught up in the ice because maybe they didn't make the best decision of hanging out there for so long. And you have these two captains with Ciaran Hinds, Jared Harris. You have Tobias Menzies thrown in there as well under Hinds. And you have this historical story. This is a true story. This was a mystery that happened, and what it seemed like actually happened was a lot of lead that they were eating turned to cannibalism, caused a lot of mental issues, and all those kinds of things. But what we have here is a really strange, uncomfortable, and unnerving creature that's causing a lot of carnage. And this takes these historical moments, twists them in some supernatural horror elements, and really delivers some really impressive historical fiction here. And I guess fantastical fiction at that. But this specifically, all the elements of like the clothes and the production design is just pitch perfect. Really captured the time. Well, obviously, except for giant snow monsters, which, the CGI is not the greatest in this show, but like it's still a really unnerving and creepy presence that you only see sporadically throughout the series, and whenever it shows up adds just another layer of tension and suspense. And you have other dangerous elements in this. You have potential, like, mystical kinds of elements from some of the natives. You have, just human nature, the pride of it all. Like, we can't just give up. No, we gotta press through and all die. Horrible deaths. But, it was worth it, right? You have the elements. You have specific human characters that are turning on each other, causing a lot of issues, a lot of tension among the crew, and like what should have happened, what should not have happened. And you have all these elements. This show takes a deep dive into human nature and looks specifically like Ciaran Hinds was full of pride. He didn't want to give up on this. And look where it got everybody. And how many of them made it out? And there's a lot of moments where it's like people give up or are driven mad and all these horrible things, and you're just plopped front seat watching all the carnage happen. There's a lot of challenging choices that these characters have to make. These men in power are responsible for all these people, and you've seen some of them make terrible decisions. You've seen other ones have to make really tough decisions to offset it. And there's a lot of very deep personal choices that some of these characters have to make about their own bodies or what to do to survive. And it challenges you. There's a moral challenge in this film at every turn. What will you do to survive? And how far down to the depths will you go to do it? And you have Hinds and Menzies and Harris, who all give fantastic performances along with the rest of the cast. But they're the three big ones, and you might not get as much Ciaran Hinds as you might expect out of this show, despite the fact that his face was all over like the main parts of it. But you have Jared Harris, and who's really in it throughout, and you have Menzies, who's really in it throughout as well. And they each have their own challenges. They bring their own personalities and perspectives to things, and there's a lot of tension there. There's some raw tension between them because they don't see eye to eye on how things should have been handled. There's shocking brutality, especially when they're attacked, or like the elements, what they're doing to them, and it's grotesque and it's disturbing, but it's so affecting and challenging in so many ways. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. And what I find so interesting is this was a bold and very successful mix of historical drama and these supernatural elements to create a horrifying and unnerving and creepy but moving and deeply human experience that hits on so many different levels. This was a great show, and I'm very interested to check out the follow-up season, The Terror Infamy, which has nothing to do with this, But this is an anthology series really trying to capture those horror elements. So definitely go give this a watch. I watched it overall on Hulu. But those are my thoughts on the first season of The Terror. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.